If I ask you a question, how many apparitions would you expect to see in a single investigation? You may say 1 or 2, but I have you some other thoughts, as when it comes to the next video, you have to raise the count number. Even I lost count of how many apparitions have occurred during the video. So let's cut straight to the bottom line. What's with the next man? He is an everyday investigator, the regular if I can say the least. But what is so special about this dude? Well, I can say he can use fire style. That might sound a bit confusing, so let me make it simpler. He can ignite fire with his bare hands. It's very simple, actually, in concept. In all seriousness, since he is exploring a haunted place, anything is expected, so he tapped on what looks like a big basin, and some fire out of nowhere was lit up. But that was the beginning. As things proceeded forward, he kept encountering one paranormal activity after the other. There was even a file that was surfing on the floor on its own. Just let me check the video again to see what else happened before I mention anything about the apparitions. Well, other than what seemed like glowing eyes from deep in the trees, there was nothing too important. Now let's focus on the spooky part. At one point, while he was pinning his camera around, he caught what looked like a female figure in a blue dress. Do you also want me to tell you what color her lipstick was? Anyways, the figures differentiated from one shot to another, which means there were different species. There was one with only her head pulling down from the ceiling. There was a figure in a black dress walking from one corner to the other, and more to come.
Tempat pemandian jenazah, men. Oke lah, nggak apa-apa. Gua tepuk aja dulu ya sebelum gua mulai ya. Basah, cuk. Astagfirullahaladzim. Baru aja gue tepuk, cok. Bentar. Ini punya masalah nih sama gue, cuy. Oke lah, kita mulai dari sini aja ya, teman-teman ya. Oke guys, sekarang gue lagi berada di salah satu bekas rumah sakit yang ada di Surabaya, teman-teman. Nampak wujud kalian? Astagfirullahaladzim. Gila, Kang Dang. Kang, typing lah, Kang. Aduh, aing kagak bawa hati, cok. Astagfirullahaladzim, muka gua bener-bener panas, cuk. Gila. Astagfirullahaladzim, itu nandai, Kang. Astagfirullahaladzim. Makin malam makin asik, coy. Apa ini, Cok? Lo lihat gak sih, men? Barusan tiba-tiba ini cuman kayak gini doang, noh. Gua spill di sini ya. Cuman kayak gini doang, nggak ada apa-apanya, Cok. Astagfirullahaladzim. Sir. Bentar, Cok, gua mundur bentar ya. Astagfirullahaladzim. Cuman manggil doang, di telinga doang lu manggil, anjing. Lu di telinga doang manggilnya, Cok. Cuman di telinga doang lu manggilnya, Cok. Gak ada lagi. Astagfirullahaladzim. Ternyata susternya yang manggil, Cok. Woi. Nih, men, gua coba masuk dulu ke dalam ya. Sebenarnya ini ruangan apaan sih? Halo? Assalamualaikum, waalaikumsalam. Ya kadamul hadam, ya kadamul ruh, ya kadamul jin, ya kadamul jasad, ya rijalul goib. Mata tower. Ada mata tower. Kalau berani ayo maju sini, yuk. Jangan cuma di sana aja, mata tower.
Asus itu SPB. Halo?
pribadi home, men. Gua coba kelilingin 7 kali ya. Gua coba kelilingin 7 kali ya, men. Ini satu ya. Gua coba kelilingin 7 kali ya. Dua. Dah 7 guys. 7 guys. Sing kepala cuk. Der. Udah 0052 ya guys. Astagfirullahaladzim. Astagfirullahaladzim. Kang. Astagfirullahaladzim, cok. Kelak. Ieu aing teu jauh. Astagfirullahaladzim. Gua enggak jauh, cok.
I may not be able to swallow these figures' apparitions as much as you do as a viewer, but I do see the possibility of this being real in some cases, especially if it was done right, like in this video. I have had a hard time trying to watch the next video. Maybe you think because I was really chilled to the bone, but then they wouldn't call me the master of horror if I was to be scared of watching one of my scary videos. Who calls me a master of horror, you might ask? The lunatic of the neighborhood. He is a good man. Regardless, what is it with the next video that's so horrifying? We have Dustin, a guy whom I featured once before, and I had a hard time watching him today for some reason. He works at a haunted hotel, if I recall it correctly, and the hauntings have followed him home ever since he began trending. But today, as he was coming back home after a long day of work that didn't seem so tiring, he also happened to be documenting for some reason. He snapped that door closed, and while he was spinning his camera around, from behind his back in the kitchen, you could see there was a clear, unexplained creepy movement behind him. It wasn't so clear what exactly was really happening in there. Even after enhancing the brightness and zooming in, you won't be able to tell. But Dustin was definitely not alone in that moment, whether it was a ghost or something else. Later, as the video progresses, we may get a better understanding of what could be lurking in the dark. As he heard a noise from the bathroom, he went there only to find out that he was indeed wanted, as the voice called him in. One day, he had his hair done and was on his way out after he explained strange sounds from the roof, and his camera didn't disappoint this time around too. On his roof, a whole figure that looked like an alien was standing there lurking at him.
Okay, guys. So, I am just now getting back from the club, and I had a good time, but I am exhausted, okay? And I don't know, I'm just like, ugh. But I have to be up in a few hours, and I'm just kind of like, I don't think, where's my, oh, a cup. I don't know if, honestly, I don't know if I can even fucking get up and want to, if I'm being honest. I feel very dehydrated. I may have had a couple of drinks, if we're being honest. And, yeah. I'm gonna try to edit maybe, and then hello? Come here. Okay, guys. So, I am on my way to work. I did something new to my hair. Like, it's supposed to make it, like, straight. I don't know. I think it honestly just caused more damage than anything. But I know that, like, I feel like it will make the mullet look better. Like, once the mullet... What the f*** is that? Where did it go?
I wouldn't blame that ghost in his bathroom to call him in, as that ghost may have some other intentions. Dustin was wearing some makeup too, if I'm not mistaken, so yeah.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
I always advise against going alone into abandoned places with the intention of investigating, thinking that you will come out of it safe. And I know I'm speaking as if I were to be some doctor or expert, but that's not the point. As you see, there is no point in risking it all just to come up with a great investigation full of fear that channels like mine and others can use to get some attention because it was a scary video. In fact, after putting it together the way I did, I think it is worth it, so go for it. Ricky was explaining how things have shifted in his life to the worst ever since he did that live stream on Facebook in his private group as he did investigate an abandoned place. As he went back home, things haven't been the same ever since. Paranormal activity began occurring in his house, and his daughter has complained about terrifying occurrences such as a djinn of a child standing on the foot of the bed holding a plate. Even Ricky's health was affected by these incidents, but he still got it, and he decided to once again venture his way to yet another scary abandoned place called the hospital, if you ever heard of it. The one this man is investigating was used in the past for somewhere illegal, as abortions and other illegal activities took place in it. And with the bad reputation of the past out of the way, let's focus on the bad reputation in its current state. Since it was left abandoned, it deteriorated, it decayed in other words. As Ricky began looking around, here come the voices, some faint voices that sounded a bit childish, a girly if I can say the least. It was not very clear, but you can hear it still. After using the spirit box, here where Ricky began collapsing, as the intensity of the atmosphere shifted, the footsteps were louder, and the cabinet doors lost control as they were slamming, so much so Ricky had to run.
Utilizaba para traer a sus heridos. Este es un hospital abandonado que, para mi gusto, son lugares que me ponen los nervios de punta. Tan pesado está este lugar que le pedí a Omar que me acompañara. Y Omar andaba un poco enfermo. No me pudo acompañar y pues... Se siente horrible. ¿Qué fue eso? después de terminar el VIP, amigos, nos vamos a YouTube. No mames. Ay, güey, me asustó eso. Bestia. Sí fue esto. No sé si las dejé abiertas, cerradas, no lo sé, pero bueno. Es incómodo esto, es muy incómodo. Vamos a poner el Spirit Box ahí. Pueden bajarle a su dispositivo. No mames. Junto a mí. Algo me está pasando. No sé qué sea. Empiezo a sudar mucho. No sé qué esté pasando. Es frío el lugar. Está demasiado frío. Se empieza a sentir una energía muy cañona que mi cuerpo me siento mal. Me siento mal. No mames, no. No. No sé cómo lo estén viendo, no sé si ustedes, no sé qué le pasó a mi aparato, no sé qué esté pasando. Díganme ustedes si pueden ver bien. ¿Lo ven bien? Díganme que lo ven bien. Ay, güey, ¿qué fue eso? No, así está mal esto. Ay, güey, no manches.
I wouldn't risk going alone to the hospital, and I'm talking about only functioning hospitals. So how about an abandoned one with a bad reputation too? Do you think I'm that crazy? There is a reason why they prefer to use hospitals in horror movies to create a terrifying chasing scene. There has been some confusion that has been spreading out lately. Wait, that's not what I had in mind. What I meant to say is that it has been a long time since I featured D.G. I know, these are very different in meanings, so how did I mix them up wrongly like that? Well, ask him, the investigator, who had me on the edge of my seat with his bone-chilling video, where he investigated an abandoned anonymous house he previously visited about 2 years ago. And I wasn't on the edge of my seat because of how excitingly scared I was. No, it's due to the fact that I couldn't really come up with anything special to say about the video. He began the journey, and here comes a t-shirt hanging on up, moving on its own. No wind was attached. I mean, no wind was involved, and you will clearly see that it was paranormal caused if you're so bought into such things. There was a room in the house that was described as sealed, but we are not living in some fancy reality where rooms are sealed away from people with some special magic. These would be special places protected from the jinn. After thinking about it, there are places that are protected by some evil black sorcery, but that room in the house Didachi tried to get in was open, but haunted. The door of it was moving at times on its own, and at times he sensed a presence in there. But when he tried to use some fire, like a trick from his book to open the door, I guess, they took it down. The ghost did it.
와. 뭐야 이거? 누구요? 뭔 소리야? 할매요? 아니면 할아버지요? 어? 얘기해보시오. 여기 안으로 들어갔어. 우와! 뭐라? 뭐야? 뭐야? 뭐요? 오! 분명히 이거 앞에 있었는데? 뒤에 누구야? 누구요? 어?
I don't know why I felt like I was explaining a video to a 3-year-old at the introduction. I didn't feel like I was as professional as I usually am, as I was ever considered to be a professional scriptwriter. As I was reading through Reddit posts of the page who uploaded the next clips, I tried to find any context or background story regarding the paranormal phenomena occurring, but I stumbled on a post, and as I began reading, I thought I was reading the plot of the paranormal tale of these clips. Little did I know that I was a post talking about an abusive mother. Regardless, we have a mother of 2 little girls who recently found out what has been occurring in these girls' bedrooms as they are sleeping. Using the CCTV cameras in the rooms, the mother was able to pick some interesting yet terrifying activities. In one of the videos, you could see how, as the girl was sleeping, the lights outside were flickering on and off and on, and repeat. I had to say that to make it take a bit longer before I hit you with the next spooky event, as the little girl was woken up suddenly, as if some sinister force told her to, only for her to get kind of dragged from behind. But that was not the only time these ghosts got physical, as the older daughter had also experienced the same activity, as her leg was being pulled while she was having some sweet dreams. Nightmares were circulating all around her, not to mention the 3 taps in the background, different knocks, and orbs all around. If that post I have read in her post section was talking about her as a mother, then things could be significantly worse than what they seem to be, because the post was talking about how the girls are so young and that when they grow up and realize what their mother was doing in the past, they will be very disappointed, or somewhere between those lines. Then what will these little girls think when they grow up and realize they didn't subscribe to Spicy Horror or watch the next video on screen?